Hey, happy 2025, everybody. It's me, Pat Sheehan, alongside, of course, Jonathan Bonner. And John, welcome to 2025. Some news on the football front for you. Patriots fired their coach today. What are your thoughts?
Stinks for a first-year guy, but as a fan, I'm happy. Direction of the franchise didn't go the way was supposed to go, according to the owner in his statement released today. So I think he made the right move by the fans, and got to start fresh. That's the right thing to do. You got the quarterback. You got a lot of cap space. Got a good draft pick. Should have had the number one draft pick, but we'll see what we can get. So I'm happy. I like it. Dolphins are toast right now. I just saw the end, I think.
Yeah, the Broncos did win. Give me 1 second because I forgot. Okay, so yeah, Dolphins are out. Once again, Tua did not play today. This was concerning when he was drafted that there was a problem with his hips, and they said there wasn't a problem with his hips. Well, apparently there's a problem with his hips because this is the second straight game he's missed because of a hip injury. So the question becomes, well, where do they go from here?
Yeah. So as a football observer, do you think Snoop Huntley is the backup quarterback, or no?
No.
I don't think so either.
I don't know. I personally, and I saw, I believe, the Falcons the other day run this. They ran a variation of the Wildcat using Bijan Robinson, direct snap to him near the goal line, and he runs it in. And I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, you have all this speed on the Dolphins. You have Mostert, you have Hill, you have Achane, you have Tua. That I understand you don't want him to scramble much, but then you also have Skylar Thompson, who pretty much scrambled everywhere at Kansas State.
Yeah.
And you don't utilize it. You're not utilizing your assets correctly from an offensive standpoint. So I don't know what you do. I think this might be McDaniel's last game for the Dolphins. I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, he's coached well enough, even last year, to I think give him the benefit of the doubt. If he starts off like shit next year, he could get fired quickly. But I don't think they're gonna fire him now.
I mean, somebody said the other day,
I know a great coach that will fit in right down in Miami for you. That's recently freed up of a job.
Yeah, no, he's not the solution either. It's just, and we've talked about this. The players get a survey every year, and we've said that the team that has the least happiest players and the worst facilities is the Chiefs. Yet they won the Super Bowl last year. The team that feels that the players are treated the most fair, and there's concern about the team's players' family, and the best facilities is the Dolphins. And well, we're not even in the playoffs. And you can make all the excuses you want in the book. At the end of the day, you have to find a way to win, and they just didn't. So another disappointing season. So yeah, that's about it for the Dolphins. How are your holidays?
Well, holidays were good. No catastrophes.
There you
go. Pretty much all we were shooting for around here.
Yeah. Pretty much the
same. New Year's Eve. I don't do anything on New Year's Eve ever anyway, because I'm just too old and I don't like to go out places. But watch some Twilight Zone. They took the Three Stooges off. I don't know why. They took them off TV. So watch some Twilight Zone. Put on a movie and didn't see 10 o'clock.
I got you. Yeah, it was the same pretty much around here. Had a good holiday. Got a lot of Dolphins gear for Christmas. So
did go to the Football Hall of Fame, I saw.
I did. First trip there with my wife and I. We went. That was pretty cool. Cool experience. So now I've been to 3 out of the 4 major professional sports halls of fame. Last one I got to get to would be the Hockey Hall of Fame in Toronto. Haven't been there yet. Also, if I wanted to do the 5 major sports, professional sports in North America, I did find out that the United States Soccer Hall of Fame is in Dallas. Did not realize that.
How many
Partnership with
players
their
are in there? Like 3?
hilarious. Wow, that's just wow. Well, it's
Cool.
either that or I go to, I think it's Switzerland is where the International
Yeah.
Football Hall of Fame is.
Football.
I don't see myself going to Switzerland anytime soon, but yeah, I found that interesting the
I
other
heard
day.
the flag is a big plus.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, that's a good one, actually. That'll probably be one of our social media clips. So I did say to my wife the other day, I haven't been to the Baseball Hall of Fame since 1995. Actually, right around the time Mickey Mantle passed away, because they actually had a black ribbon on his plaque when we went. So I haven't been there, but alternatively, I've never been to the Boxing Hall of Fame, which isn't too far from Cooperstown. I forget the name of the town, but it's up in upstate New York as well.
You could also mix in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is in Cleveland, so it's not too far from.
Yeah, I don't know.
No.
I don't know. I've been to Cleveland's airport. If the city's anything like the airport, it's probably not going to be a fun time. Anyway, nothing against people from Ohio. Sorry. Anyway, um, so yeah, we've been doing a great deal with trading cards, as you know, from our chats. So tonight we kind of wanted to plug cards we're selling and also share how you can interact with us on a couple of web apps or just apps in general. So I'm going to share my screen. Give me 1 second. And of course, the window I want is not there. Why?
You could always add it in. You could always add
There we go.
it in there. Got
I
it.
got it.
Oh,
Okay.
there it is. Okay.
So I'm sharing my screen right now. I am on an app called CollX, COLL capital X. This is the link to my direct profile. I am selling most of my cards on there for $1 a piece. There are some that are more than that. John, alternatively, is on, as well as I am on Arena Club. That's a different app. I believe the majority owner is Derek Jeter, if I'm not mistaken. And John's name on there is JBomb1002. So if you're interested in purchasing cards or interacting with us, we can be found via those apps for cards. So
Those
I'll leave that up
the
there.
the Arena Club app is cool. It's kind of like a buy sell trade auction kind of all in one app. Um, not as intricate as eBay, but like twice a week they release some pack deals that you can buy. No shameless plugs here, but I think it's pretty cool. I did get a few nice cards. I actually bought Pat a nice Dan Marino card last week on there and shipped it over to him.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. But yeah, they're cool. I haven't been on CollX yet, but I'll get on there at some point. I'm gonna send out you and I are both sending out cards to PSA. I don't know if you mailed yours already, but I just ordered some sleeves to send out a bunch, and then once those come back, I'll list a lot more on social. So
Yeah, I did want to bring this up because John thinks he's hilarious, and he's trying to turn back the clock because he used to find it funny to get me in trouble with my mother. Well, now I'm married, and my wife does support my card habit to an extent, and John thinks it's hilarious to egg me on into purchasing cards and getting in trouble with my wife. And I said this to my wife the other day. I said,
Pat, 50
"Yeah,
cent.
yep, John thinks it's funny to get me in trouble. He thought it
I
was
mean, I've
funny to
always
give me,
thought it was funny.
yeah, see? So
So
he thought it was,
anecdotally, Pat was growing up, and like he just mentioned, I used to get his mother yelling at him all the time, and he had a Bob Marley photo poster on his bedroom wall, and his mother was yelling at him for something totally unrelated to anything that we were doing or whatever, something in his house, and I just happened to yell, "Pat's got a reefer on his wall," and his mother instantly replied, "He better not."
yeah.
And
So
we still laugh at that to this day. But yeah, I do get quite a rise out of you getting in trouble for stupid things.
yes, thank you, John. Jen, did you hear that? See that? She heard it.
Good,
Miss
good.
Sheehan 2.0 heard it. So anyway, yeah. So before we go into sharing some of the cards that we have that are unique or special that we are selling on different apps, we also wanted to do New Year's resolution, which I should have tied in. So you have one this year, John?
I didn't really. I don't. Again, I'm not a big New Year's person, but if I had to come up with one on the spot, I think live more in the moment. A lot of people are going through different things, and I try to appreciate some things a little bit more than honor. I'm not really saying that I'm a negative person, but I should look at things in a little bit of a different limelight on certain occasions. So I'll leave it at that.
It's good you brought that up because when I first pitched the Arena Club thing to you, you said what? This is stupid. And so
I
I
did.
want to
I
come
did.
in. Okay,
I did.
exactly. Yes, you need to be a positive
I did.
person.
I did.
Now, I'm not saying I'm a negative person either, but I need to try not to stress as much about things as I do, and I need to be more proactive. I do have a lot of, things I'm involved with because, I've said before, ADHD. If you haven't seen the funny commercial in one of our episodes, you should probably check that out.
Yep.
But I have to be more proactive with like setting things up and planning. I'm being honest. So I'm going to try not to stress as much, but also be proactive in planning and getting stuff done, like not the day before it's due, as I've done for a majority of my life.
I'm pretty good at not stressing about things late. Well, not lately, but in general. The last few years, I've been kind of like, yeah, who cares, kind of deal, whatever. Like, I don't let things bother me too much, which is good. But I think, like, taking a little bit more of a certain appreciation for things, and different. I don't know. Everybody goes through different shit, so I don't want to get into specifics. But
Sure.
I mean,
No.
personally, you know where I'm coming from. So
No. Yeah, of course. And no, I agree. Yeah, just I try to make you laugh every now and again. I do stupid shit to make my friends laugh or try. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
I get you in trouble, so I can laugh.
There you go. You hear that, Jen? There she
Jen,
heard
Pat's buying cards.
that. There it is. She comes back with the "he better not." Mrs. Sheehan 2.0. All right, here we go. So now not to get emotional or anything. We just talked about this. I found this card, okay? And I think if I'm correct, like I have that weird memory thing of like I can remember where stuff came from. So one time I believe I got like these cards that people like they open packs and then they would remember they'd sell them like almost like in a plastic binder. You could buy a bunch. And it was just random mixture of cards. I don't
Yeah,
know
sure,
where I got it
sure.
from.
Yeah.
I think I got it as a Christmas gift one year. All right. So anyway, I'm going through, and where did it go? Because I just had
Is
it.
it the one that you sent us earlier on the
No,
text?
no, no,
Okay.
no, no. So yeah, but let's not go there.
All right. Yeah. No. It's cool.
I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, you're good. Leave it. Right there is good. Right there. Yep.
It's Tito and Terry Francona. Okay, the card is from 1983, I believe. No, I'm sorry, 1985. So this would be an 86 tops card.
That's a cool one.
Yeah, and you know, you start to think about like Tito and his son Terry, and you start to think about your dad and you playing catch as kids because that's how obviously Terry Francona must have started his career, and then you start thinking about you and your own father and playing catch and starting to play baseball, and then here my mind goes to freaking the book Shoeless Joe and which is movies Field of Dreams, and I start getting all emotional about it. And so
You want to have a catch?
that was
Basically, the tail end of Rudy in a different movie. I mean, it's
like,
okay for guys to cry at that movie.
right. So I see this card and I'm like, I'm keeping this. Not just because Tito coached the Red Sox to the World Series, broke the Bambino's curse, so to speak, but it reminds you of the good times you had as a kid, just playing catch with your dad. Let's have a catch.
Sure.
So that's one that I brought. Did you bring any others? Others.
I have I have a few in front of me. I can go get a few more if you want, but the one I got back recently was the
Oh yeah, Mark Jackson,
Mark
Menendez
Jackson
brothers
and
card.
why did my phone just go black? The Menendez brothers, who are seated right in the front
Yeah, I see
there.
him. Yeah, that was the night after they killed their parents.
Correct. When I got on Arena Club, no shameless plug, Bernie Williams, one of my favorite players growing up.
Yep.
And I got a few others here, but I mean, I don't have to go crazy. Yeah, just I'm trying to get some childhood like Drew Bledsoe. I got him on a PSA graded 10. Yeah, I'm just gonna try to get some my favorite players growing up, and then, like I said, I'm gonna kind of bunch in and get them graded and have those to keep. I'm not really looking for value necessarily here yet, but
So
more of a nostalgia thing.
So I am going to plug more cards because I'm trying to sell a lot of my cards now. There's some with me that I don't want to sell.
Well, I haven't gone through. Yeah, I haven't gone through. I have boxes and boxes of cards I have to go through still. So eventually, again, I'm going to go down that route and get rid of them. But I have to go through them first and see what's in them. Because growing up, obviously, we got so many cards, and we're just looking for our favorite players or team, and we just threw all the rest in boxes. And then, obviously, we weren't really appreciative of what some things probably were. Obviously, you right there with the Francona one.
Right.
So yeah, I got to go through them. But anyway, continue.
I did want to plug some of these because they are related to Rhode Island and the podcast. So I did get this card the other day. I don't know if you can see that.
Yep.
Woody Pay. Woody Pay plays for the Indianapolis Colts, went to the University of Michigan. What high school did he go to? Quiz question.
I have no idea.
It's in Rhode Island.
Don't know. I'm not going to guess, so you can just say it.
You suck. I thought you were going to be more positive. Anyway.
I mean, I am being positive. I could guess a zillion schools. I don't know.
Yeah, because Rhode Island has a zillion. Yes, that's it. That's all you had to say. Bishop Hendricken. Jesus Christ. Anyway, another couple of cards that relates to us and growing up, sort of, because they grew up in our town. You got Tyler Kolek.
Yeah, that's a cool card.
Is if I can get it to focus.
Yeah, I can see it.
For his Bowman draft card.
Yeah,
also
cool. I like that.
From the Montreal Canadiens, Jaden Struble.
Nice.
He's his rookie card as well, so I've acquired those. I am looking for a Kolek NBA 24-25 rookie card. Now, you mentioned cards that we went through as kids and we just didn't give a second thought to. I have three that I'm going to show, and these three are for sale. The Struble, Quiddy Pay, Tito and his father, and Kolek are not. This one is actually Mrs. Sheehan 2.0's card because she collected some cards and went through the other day.
Yeah.
And these are one of the cards that I told you about, like, you know, getting a card from a box of cereal, you wouldn't think it would be worth much. This is actually a reprint of Honus Wagner card. The card that it was reprinted from is from 1915. It is a micro card, and it was put out in Cracker Jack boxes in 1993. So this one is for sale on my CollX app. I believe I put it up for $1. Most of my cards are $1. This one we would have collected as a kid. This is an error card. Why? Player's name is Orlando Thomas. The card on the front and back says Orlando Thomas. So again, those cards that you just kind of like give a second look to, and you have an error card. So this one is up on the website. I forget how much I'm asking for this one. This, if I'm correct, because like you said, I have that weird memory thing. Okay, it's a Magic's Moment card. But the fascinating thing about this Magic Johnson card is the back of it. Because, and of course it's not going to focus, but there's writing on the back. And when I looked at it, because the CollX app identified it as a Magic Johnson Upper Deck Italian card, I thought, well, that's odd. So let me look at the back. So I look at the back, and the language is definitely Latin. I know it's not Spanish, but it does appear to be Italian. So I start thinking back, where the hell would I have gotten this card? I believe we were on vacation in Orlando in 95 or I don't know, 96. And we went to like one of those like gift shops where there's like, $5 t-shirts, coffee mugs and stuff. And I think I bought a pack there. And um, obviously, Orlando, being a very diverse community, gets travelers from all over the world to Disney World, obviously. They must have been selling these Italian packs. Well, lo and behold, going through the cards the other day, I put this in the scanner. I said, that can't be right. Double checked it. Sure enough, it's a Magic Johnson card in Italian on the back, which is rarer than, of course, the Upper Deck Magic Johnson in English on the back. So that's the fun story behind that one. I am selling that one on CollX. I think I'm asking $28 for it, 40. Again, but I don't know. 85% of my collection, I would say, is $1. Um, so
Yeah, I mean that's fair for. Like I said, a lot of those. Like I just have so many cards thrown in boxes that,
right.
it's going to be the same for me once they get sorted.
I think I have close to 3,000 on CollX cards for sale.
That's
So
a
I've gone
lot.
through. Yeah. So, and like I said, I sent out 17 cards total the other day to get graded, 10 by PSA. And then I sent 7 to um, Arena Club because here's the thing. I saw it today. Guy has a Patrick Ewing card, Fleer 92, 93, I believe, or 91, 92.
Yeah.
Card's worth $2 because it was mass produced. He got it slabbed. So basically, he's losing money because, well, he paid for a card that was reproduced that isn't worth what he got it to have it graded. So I had to go through the other day, and I went through with like just a spreadsheet and going through, and I had acquired a bunch of cards from football cards from the 60s and 70s, and they're not in great shape. Um, so I, said to myself, well, if I go through PSA, I run the risk that they're not going to be graded for what I'm paying for.
Yeah.
Because Arena Club is a bit cheaper, it would make more sense to do it through Arena Clubs. So that's why I said in the 7 card football cards.
Plus with Arena, they're vaulted, so if somebody wants to buy them, they just ship them for you.
Right. So we'll see how that goes. Now, one of the last things we were going to talk about in this episode, and I think it's an important subject. I know you don't follow it too much in New England, but do you buy or sell the new 12-team college football format? Because people are saying teams are blowing other teams out. This is ridiculous. It should have just stayed at 4 teams.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
See, I'm not a huge college football fan in general, so even before the new format, but I would agree with people that like the shitty ass teams that are getting into the 12-team format. Like there's no place. I mean, it's basically like wild cards for football. I mean, but the wild card in the NFL is like there's still some decent teams that sneak in there, so the competition is almost level. Obviously you're going to get teams that will blow each other out,
But here's my thought.
I like it from a fan's perspective, though. Like I like it. I like the more teams in, the better.
Well, think of it this way, because here's the thing, too. Notre Dame is in the Final Four now of college football teams, okay? Notre Dame's only lost this season. Can you name the team they got beat by?
No.
Northern Illinois. Okay? Not one of the Power 5 conferences, a smaller school, and they beat Notre Dame, who's now one of the 4. Because if we're going to reference a movie from our childhood, The Little Giants, what does Rick Moranis' character tell the team? Even if these guys beat us 9 out of 10 times, that still leaves
One.
do the math. 1 time. Right. So here's the thing with college football playoff. I actually like to see more teams than 12 because you don't know who's going to beat who on any given day. And you can make the argument, yeah, I watched the Georgia TCU game either last year or 2 years ago, and it was just I don't even know how to describe it. They just destroyed them. I get it.
Yeah.
But taking into consideration, Notre Dame is one of the Final 4 teams left. Notre Dame, Ohio State, Texas, and who's the other one? It's not Oregon. Why can't I recall this? Texas, Ohio State, Notre Dame, and geez, I'm drawing a blank here.
And somebody just who beat Alabama?
Penn State. Penn State. Okay, those are the final.
Beat Alabama, but.
Those are the final four. But again, you're talking about a Notre Dame team who lost to a weaker conference team in Northern Illinois, who actually wound up, I think they had 6 losses on the season. But because of that whole Little Giants movie plug I just stated, and it's true, any team could beat any other team on any given day. You just don't know. And that's why I think you should include more teams, regardless of whether you think, for example, Joe Schmo University from, I don't know.
So in that same thing though, say you're a fan of a team that's powerhouse, and then they let all these other teams in, and your team that really belonged in the playoffs because they won all year or they're ahead of the conference. They get blown out by some rinky-dink college that gets in.
You sound like the University of Alabama's fans. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. I can't stand them. Okay.
No,
I'm gonna go with
I don't even know
their chant is roll tide.
College. Yeah, right. I know some about. I don't follow college football, so I'm just saying I'm completely unbiased on this topic. I have no.
No, I get it.
But one side or another. I'm just saying.
But
as a fan, if my team was reputably good, and then you let a lot more teams into the playoffs, and they shouldn't lose to a inferior team, I guess is the point. But if they do, I think I'd be pissed.
Well, where I was going with that is everybody was complaining it wasn't fair. Alabama didn't get in the 12-team format. Okay, first of all, you lost twice. Okay. You had an Oregon team that was undefeated till Ohio State blew them out the other day. But by the way, in case you're scoring at home, I really don't like Ohio State either. Any of the teams that keep winning every year, I really don't have a good track record with. Georgia, kind of happy they're out too.
That's why you like the Dolphins.
You're a jerk. Anyway, so their chant is roll tide. Well, the tide got rolled 3 times. Okay, because again, in the bowl the other day against Michigan, they got beat. So they shouldn't have been in the playoffs, in my opinion. But again, any given team can beat any other team on any given day. So I see what your point is, but I think that some fan bases take it a little too far and think their team is better than what it actually is or was. And, so that's my take on it. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. Opinions are like buttholes. Everybody has one, unless they have spina bifida, which is a fact. Anyway, figured go out on a cheap laugh note.
Yeah, I agree. I just I don't know. Either way I look at it, I don't care because I don't really follow college football.
You're gonna start following it next year, I'm sure. You're gonna start for UNC, because the Messiah went there, and now his father, God, is gonna be the coach. So I'm sure you're gonna follow that.
I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work out.
You come down for the UCF UNC game. Like I said, they've already contacted students to be on the lookout for drones, cameras that shouldn't be where they're not supposed to, deflated footballs, et cetera, et cetera. So,
winning championships. Yeah, stuff like that.
Mrs. Sheehan's laughing in the background, so now I'm going to have to edit that out. All right. Mrs. Sheehan, you're not an official guest tonight, so just, Anyway.
That's by default.
Yes. Anyway, you will be at some point, I'm sure. If you liked what you heard today, share it with your friends, tell family members, have a good laugh on us, forget about life and the tough stuff, the constraints, the issues, yada, yada, yada. But in the meantime, for John Bonner, I am Pat Sheehan, and we'll see you next time on the Pop.
See ya.